Nvidia just announced the 50 series GPUs, and today we'll have a look at those GPUs alongside some AMD 9000 series GPUs. Let's have a look at the 5090 first. The 5090 comes with a total of 32GB of VRAM, and it will be available at the end of January 2025 alongside the 5080. While I welcome the 8GB memory increase from the 24GB that the 4090 was launched with, I'm not fond of the power increase and the price. We will not be sure exactly of the power consumption until reviewers have the card in hand for testing, but a 125W power increase seems rather steep. It's concerning as there is no high-end competition from AMD or Intel, but Nvidia decided to increase the power. Maybe this is how Nvidia can bump the performance, and coupled with the generational improvements, I hope we can see a 50% performance increase over the 4090. Given the price increase, the price to performance ratio may not be any better than the one for the 4090. I also like the design of the Founders Edition more than the previous generation. Moving down the line to the 5080, we can see that the VRAM capacity hasn't increased and the launch price stayed the same, at least when compared to the 4080 Super. Analyzing again the performance chart provided by Nvidia, this GPU can be a capable 4K graphics card. I'm not sure if it can match the 4090, though only time will tell, but hopefully it will be around that or a bit better when it comes to performance. A bit concerning is the 16GB VRAM, as down the road I'm not sure of the memory requirements of upcoming games. I would have liked to see 24GB of VRAM. Keep in mind that by using frame generation the memory requirements are increased and we may need to lower some settings for 4K gaming. To be honest, I think that 16GB it's okay for now, but if you plan to keep it for a long time, maybe you should aim for 1440p. Unfortunately, there is no competition for the 5080 from AMD or Intel. The 5070 Ti, in my opinion, is the card to get if you are looking for high settings 1440p. The price is still steep. I would have loved to see it a bit lower, but I believe this card will perform close to the current 4080 Super, I hope. I'm not sure if AMD will have something to match this performance, but looking at the slides AMD provided, I will incline to say no. Hopefully I'm wrong, as there is a dire need of competition. This GPU will be good for some 4K gaming as well, and DLSS is good even at 1440p, let alone 4K. In my opinion, this should have been the 5070. The last GPU that Nvidia announced is the 5070. In my opinion, this GPU is priced a bit high as it only has 12GB of VRAM. I know I'm gonna get a lot of dislikes for the previous statement, as most believe that 12GB is enough and YouTubers are wrong when they say this, but have this in mind. The performance that it delivers according to the slides should be more or less in line with the current 4070 Ti, maybe a bit better. With that said, this should be a good 1440p card, but because of the small VRAM capacity, in some games you will need to lower texture settings. Just have a look at Star Wars Outlaws. This is what happens at 1440p with ray tracing set to medium and 12GB of VRAM. Who knows how many games like this will come. Keep in mind that Arc B580 has 12GB of VRAM but is way below the performance of the current 4070, let alone the upcoming 5070. Also, I want to mention that high texture settings don't bring a card to its knees, it just makes a game look better. Other settings bring down the frames per second. You will have to lower the textures or use DLSS quality when it may not be needed. Frame generation is not an option as it uses more VRAM. Another good thing is that AMD may have a competitor for this card that will come with 16GB. The RX 9070 XT and 9070 are an unknown factor as there is no performance slide for them. Another unknown is FSR 4. This will use AI upscaling as DLSS is doing, but looking at the footnote of a slide, it may be available only on the 9070 series, which if that is true, it's a low blow from AMD. In one slide from AMD we can see the 9060 mentioned, but that's it, no info regarding this one, so we need to wait a bit more. How long? I don't know, hopefully soon. The other GPUs below these announced will be presented later. AMD and Nvidia will have the 9060 and the 5060 series, while Intel may have something in its sleeve as well, maybe the B770, who knows, only time will tell. And that's it for this video. I'm a bit excited to see these new GPUs in action, but a bit concerned due to the pricing at launch. Most likely, as it happened in the previous years, the prices that Nvidia or AMD are mentioning will not be the ones that the end user will pay, but let's hope this time around will be different. If you liked the video and found it helpful, hit the thumbs up button and consider subscribing to the channel. Take care and hope to see you all in the next one.